It's always such a great pleasure to have you join us every Sunday evening. Now, whenever you think about building your house, do you think long-term or short-term, even with regards to the housing materials you use, can they be reused? Well, that is what we call circular housing, and we'll be telling you a bit more about that after the Property of the Week segment. Tucked inside Juja sub-county, as you go up this driveway, you find Kurkum House on this 8-acre parcel of land. Thinking of throwing a party or a family event? You have enough grounds to give it your personal touch. A stair step laced in mazeras leads to the 3 ceramic pillared patio, ushering you into the house, which is entirely ceramic tiled. The smooth finish on the walls is done in gypsum. All curtain rods are brass laden and the windows are one-way, meaning they are all tinted, which is great for privacy. The dining room faces the kitchen through its open plan design, and it has a separate hand wash basin. Gloss ceramic kitchen wall tiles set an elegant tone, and it contrasts well with the MDF laminate cabinets and pull-out drawers. Blockboard shelving is well designed in the pantry, allowing storage for all your kitchen items. Steel towel rods have been fitted near the double wash sink, while the kitchen top is ceramic laced. A steel door leads to the backyard, and this is where the laundry is for all your washing and drying. Plenty of wardrobe space is exhibited in the master bedroom, as the MDF wardrobes covered in brown laminate have spacious cabinets and pull-out drawers, a dressing mirror and blockboard shelving. The wet area is ceramic tiled with glossy finishing on the walls. The first and second rooms are similar with MDF laminated wardrobes and ceramic tiled floors. The shared toilet and bath for these 2 rooms have a wash sink on the outside. There is provision for an extra toilet and bath outside the house for visitors. Kurkum House has a septic tank, and for provision of water there is a top tank of 3,000 litres. However, water is still supplied by Ruiru Water. A security firm has been employed to guard the entire area. The house is on sale for 9.5 million. Designing a commercial space is very critical, and you have to think about your clientele. On today's Property Essential segment, we show you how to make that specific design to attract your clients. Though popular thought may be that interior designers are only used to create cozy home environments, this is not true. Interior designers also work with commercial or corporate environments. In addition, interior design is one of the most successful business marketing tools. But before you decide to market to potential customers, make sure you first take the time to figure out who you're marketing to.
The reason why we decided that we should have a kids-only salon and barber is because you'll find many places don't have a special place just for children. You'll find most places that, out of experience, I've taken my daughter to salons where they have to like attend to children and grown up at the same time. And because children sometimes can be a bit stubborn, so they tend to attend to the grown up before the child. So I thought of coming up with a salon and barber where kids only can come, and they get a loving environment where they're given the attention that they need, because sometimes children just want a little bit of attention, and you have your way.
Whether it is a private workplace or a shared corporate space, the work area must be inviting. Creating an inviting space may encourage customers to stay and may also encourage employees to work harder for longer. The space must be efficient and cost-effective, but also create a unique and engaging experience for the clientele.
The reason why it's as colored as it is because, first of all, children love color. Children are attracted to color. We've used basically the bright colors because children get excited by bright colors. Like the cars you've seen at the front, they're just normal toy cars that we custom made them to look like seats. So when our small children are cutting their hairs, they sit in the car, and it distracts them from the hair being cut, because most boys or maybe most children don't like the vibration that the barbering machines have. So the reason why we decided to have those cars there is just to steal away their attention from the children. If you look in here, the salon area, we have one side where the baby girls' hairs are done. So we've also done like different colors of chairs just to make the place look a bit lively.
When you create a design that speaks directly to the client's needs and wants, the business environment may become more attractive and inviting to the company's pre-existing and potential clients.
We have a lot of walk-ins who come, maybe they want to come and test us, and we have made a lot of clientele. We have children who will not agree to go anywhere else. They only want to come here. They have gained favor even with the hairdressers. So you find most of them, they already know who they are coming to. They actually book in advance and say, I'm coming to get my hair done by Dottie, or I'm coming to get my hair done by Rehab. So we already have those children who really want just us to make their hairs.
While focusing on the customer, you may also want to focus on the product. It should be clear what the company does, and the interior design must emphasize this. Don't overcomplicate this message or overthink the design. Emphasizing the product and the client may be done in simple ways with specific design choices. It may simply be a matter of selecting the right color schemes, fabrics, and furniture. If it seems that you may not have enough space, reconsider your layout. Use the space efficiently and be creative with organizational and storage units. Your design should impact the work environment in a positive way.
Well, the success of the salon maybe basically is because, first of all, yes, the way it's designed. And it's designed like this because it's for a certain clientele. The reason why children would prefer coming here is because, first and foremost, children love a place where they are appreciated and they are noticed and they're given the attention that they deserve. So I know most children, the reason why they prefer maybe is because also we have toys, we are free with children, we go down to their level, we have time for them. If they want to choose what to watch, we give them the choice of cartoons they want to watch. So you find that in other places, maybe you'll find it's only limited to what is there. But for here, we take our customers first priority. If they want a break of 5 minutes, we give them a break of 5 minutes, we negotiate. And also, when we have our children and they are good to us, we make a deal, we give them a pack of snacks when they go. So actually, most of that, our parents tell us that the children want to come back because of the snacks.
In today's aggressive market, you cannot afford to lose clients to your competition because you run their business from rundown or cramped-looking premises. So, get a qualified interior designer to model your working space to fit your target market. A smart office design and refurbishment could free up space that you never realized you had and increase your business performance, which can in turn have dramatic effects on your profitability. In addition, a refurbishment will be more cost-effective than moving and less disruptive as well. We take a short commercial break, but we'll be right back, and right after that, we will tell you all about circular housing. Thank you so much for keeping us company on today's show. We are talking about circular housing. I'm sure many of you have not really heard about circular housing, but we have Kariba Moko, and they are the pioneers in Kenya in terms of circular housing, and he will shed more light into this. Thank you so much, Kariba, for joining us. We really do appreciate. Tell us, what is circular housing? Give us a quick definition on it.
Circular housing basically runs on the principles of a circular economy, which looks at being a zero waste economy. Now, when you look at zero waste, then Africa really is I think at the pinnacle of defining zero waste, because how we used to do most of our industries was actually in a way that was very close or mimicked nature. So I think for us, what we're basically trying to do as we look at sustainable housing, as we look at circular housing, is to basically bring to the forefront what is intrinsically African. So even as we look at so basically your traditional house, in terms of your usage, etc., you look at how then you pass that on to the municipal, county, etc. Now, if that is not well managed, then it becomes a bust sewer, and all that kind of conversation. So for us, for example, on waste management, we're looking at a house that fully recycles everything it uses. If it's in terms of energy, you're looking at how your house also is able to generate power for itself, so that then you don't rely as much on grid or use, the grid as backup and that kind of solution. And also, basically have a house of the future that doesn't have to rely too much on fossil fuel as your backup source of energy, so your generators, etc.
All right, now housing is such a craze in the country. Everyone wants to own a house. Tell us about the feasibility in terms of circular housing in the country.
Okay, so how you look at problems in housing, biggest issue of course being land at the smallest, at the introduction level, and mortgage being rate on the financing end, is to build an ecosystem that makes a lot of savings and then passes that to the end user. So for example, on land right now, one of the ways we've countered high cost of purchase is really on community engagement. So we try to exit, if we're not outrightly purchasing the land, we try to exit the landowner much later into the projects. What then that means is that then he doesn't have to heap on all the costs onto the projects in the beginning, and then that becomes such a huge cost that you need to factor in on the whole project. The second thing is scale. So I keep saying every time I hear there's a plot for sale, etc., I keep thinking maybe on that model we got it a bit wrong. I know the main reason why we went that is affordability, but I think with the way that support structure was meant to be, is that then government comes up, helps you with the infrastructure, kind of what now is happening in Konza. So government comes up, helps with the infrastructure, and then you then make it easy for people to own homes. But the way we did it is the other way around, where then we go and prospect and then expect that the infrastructure will then follow, which then creates a mess. But I think for us, how we're looking at it in terms of scale is then how can you provide affordable housing on a really big scale, and then pass on, if there are chunks of cost that need to be absorbed, then you have more units to absorb it in. So then that makes your entry-level pricing into the market much more affordable to the end user. Right now, we may not be able to challenge the system as much or provide alternatives, because we're still testing the market, etc. So we will have to rely on traditional structures, mortgage, etc. Luckily, our banking partners on this on our projects have agreed to work with us and see how much, because we're bringing volumes to them, how much of that then can be passed to the end user. So I think also it's a conversation where the developer then must look at ways to, as much as possible, add value. And ideally, when you're thinking of going circular, at the end of the day, is looking at value across. It's not just haggling for good rates with the bank, and then that ends up on your profit as your profit, but also looking at whatever value I get, can I pass that down? For us, there's what we feel are short-term gains, but then there's what we feel we will engage the market, as we go forward.
As pioneers in circular housing, I know that you're doing Tungo Place this year. Maybe you could tell us a bit about Tungo Place. We know that it will be the first project in terms of circular housing in Kenya.
So Tungo Place is basically a 500 apartment project on Getaduru Road in Kitusuru. And basically what we're doing there is to challenge everything we've rethought about housing. So let me give you an example. So the other day I saw Elon Musk launch solar roofing and all that. In Kenya we already have a company, Strauss Energy, that was already thinking of that. But maybe they don't have as much publicity as say Elon would with Tesla. And so one of the things that we then did is that in their solution, the only challenge was, okay, so once you get the solar into your house, how do you store it? So one of the things that we're working on with them now, and actually we've done it as a collabo between Strauss and Tesla, is that then, Strauss will give us the roofing technology, which is local, which then we're building local businesses, and then Tesla can help us, with the storage units. Now, have you already begun? Yeah, so it's a conversation we're having now. They're actually supposed to present to us in about a month or so, which then means by the time we hit ground come June, July, then that will be, in terms of solar and how we provide that into the house, then that will be one of the solutions that we'll have. Now, we're also working with a different company, and they came to us because they basically have a solution for waste management, where it's basically waste to water. So then that water can be recycled. One of the things that we told them is that, for us, waste to water is your typical, even if I go and do my natural, waste management system, ideally, clean water is what I'll expect. Clean water and garbage is what I'll expect at the end. So one of the things that we're challenging them to do is then refine that process, and we've linked them up with a few companies that are already doing that, to go and see how that can then be a waste to biogas and water. So then the biogas is rechanneled as gas back into the project. So for us, what we're doing is basically what we're saying is that we believe that most innovation for Africa is in Africa. So what we're then doing is that then, rather than trying to import everything and putting it as a solution and then saying, I have what from Germany or whatnot, are there companies already that are looking into the technologies that will, basically enhance the houses of the future, and can we then partner with those companies now and refine the technology so that then, I don't know about you, but I get passionate every other time when there's news trending on, say, CNN, etc., positive news at that, and there's a Kenyan face behind it, etc.
Given that it's a new thing that's coming up in terms of housing, what is the response so far? How are Kenyans taking this up as you have gone along? So
let me put it this way. I have personally fought with almost everyone on my team, with everyone that we have, each of our suppliers, because everything, including the architect, because everything they then propose, we're always challenging. And what I've realized is that, a real estate project is basically an architect's signature, and he doesn't want in some sense to mess on the job, because any critique goes towards his portfolio. So, and that's the practice across the industry. So you can imagine this entrepreneur coming into the fray and saying, hey, okay, great, that's what you traditionally do, but on our project, we'd like you to test A, B, C, D. And they're like, okay, so who else has done it? No one. So it becomes a fight. But one of the things that we've said is that then if we can build good enough benchmarks, then we're not going to say, hey, let somebody else try it. Let's just push it. Let's see. And you can always improve as long as you give the market what is the best at that point and improve on that. Then it only gets better. And I think here then we must, I keep saying, your first your mobile phone right now, the slide technology on it has improved over time from when, say, Apple started using it. But it's the fact that, you know, you are willing to test it and you are willing to evolve with the technology that's made it what it is today.
So in your opinion, this is the way to go?
It is. Especially as we look at, you know, we have Kibera, we have Mathare and all that. If you're going to provide decent housing for that demographic and it's going to be affordable, you know, you can't then look at your traditional ways of financing projects and think that this is what is going to work. Well, I'm waiting to hear what our governors and whatnot start pitching to us as they seek for our votes. But that's intrinsically, those are the issues that we need to be looking at now. And for us, if then, you know, we can then provide such information based on projects that we've already done 2-3 years from now, then that's a plus for the Kenyan ecosystem.
Okay, one of the questions that everyone will definitely ask is about the pricing. How affordable is it when you want to come up and bring a house that is under circular housing? Can Kenyans really afford this?
For us, one of the things that we're looking at in terms of costing is just passing all the value that we'll have created to the end user. So for example, we've got 1, 2 and 3 bedroom units. Launch prices are about 3.5, 5.5 and 6.5. Now that we've done a marketing feasibility study is about between 500 to 1 million less than what are the launch prices for other projects in our neighborhood. Now we've achieved this pretty much by challenging whatever, you know, inefficiencies exist in the current models. Now we will then be able to, you know, as we get better at this, we'll then be able to pass much more benefits to the end user.
Thank you so much, Kariba, for shedding light into circular housing. It's a new form of housing technology in Kenya, could be the way to go, and Tungo Place will be the first project this year that will have circular housing. We'll definitely have a look out for that, but just to make sure that Kenyans out there can have homes that they can afford. A new housing technology that is achievable and sustainable. We do hope it will be fully realized in the country. Join us again next week as we bring you more informative topics right here on NTV Property Show. See you then.